We turn to page 568, which is a page without a number. It's a blue page. We turn to page 567 and then flip to see all of the ways and the relationships that we are thinking of this afternoon. Right now, our hearts are filled with tender memories of our grandparents during these Yizkor moments. My grandpa Henry was the first of his family to be born in America. His father and two older brothers were bricklayers, and their promise to their new Yankee baby was that he would work with his head and never with his hands. Education and hard work were going to be the priority for my grandfather. Despite a high school education, my grandpa often reflected he didn't know where he would be if World War II hadn't broken out just as he graduated. He was proud to serve his country in the Air Force, but more importantly, he got to see and travel the world. He couldn't believe that a poor Jewish boy from Brooklyn would ever leave his neighborhood, never mind the country. The Army later provided my grandfather with even further educational opportunities. He attended St. John's College at night on the GI Bill, balancing a career as an accountant, school, and a growing family. My grandpa taught his work ethic to our whole family. He worked for Consumers Union for his entire career, basically being kicked out at age 79 because he refused to retire on his own. He couldn't imagine what else there was to do. After work, when Grandpa Henry would swing by our house to visit, he couldn't sit around without picking up a rake or a shovel to do yard work, making sure to make snide comments about me and my sister being lazy because we didn't want to help. When I played softball in high school, he'd practice with me in the backyard, throwing the ball so hard it would bruise my hand through the glove, and boastfully ask why my then 76-year-old grandfather was in better shape than me. Being a man with a hard work ethic, he didn't understand buying things I wanted like Mavi jeans or Nike sneakers. He was happy wearing jeans from Kohl's, bought with a senior citizen discount, and a baseball hat. Each one he owned represented a place that had meaning to him, like our colleges, places we vacationed, or even a PTBE hat that would come out on the Jewish holidays. But my grandpa would spoil all his grandchildren nonetheless. And a story he liked to tell me was taking me shoe shopping as a kid when I told him that each pair of sneakers hurt until I tried on the pair I really wanted. The ones with the sparkling gemstones. That, of course, fit perfectly. And of course, he bought them for me, no questions asked. To say my grandpa was proud of me and my sister and my cousin is an understatement. And we're lucky that he told us so at every occasion and at every accomplishment. This Rosh Hashanah was the first year I didn't receive a call from him, letting me know he was tuning into the live stream to hear his rabbi give a sermon, proud of my own hard work. That I miss him just being there for us, wearing a hat chosen specifically for the event, beaming with pride and love. For all those grandparents we loved, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them.
Our hearts are filled with tender memories of those whose shoulders we stand upon during these Yizkor moments. We recall the kindness, the sage advice, the leadership, support, and the friendship of those who have led our congregation in seasons past. And on this Yom Kippur 5780, our community is particularly missing past presidents Bob Serbin and Dr. Bill Schwartz, who provided our congregation with so much more than just holding an official title. I personally recall their care and how lovingly and paternally they became my friends and my confidants. As leaders of our temple community, they watched over me, guided me, embraced me and nurtured me through healthy times, and even more so in their sickness. I studied with them and engaged in deep philosophical issues that face our Jewish community as well as our country and our world. As their illnesses began to overtake their ability to come to temple, I would visit them regularly to try and bring them comfort. And after each visit, I was the one who was comforted through their wisdom and love for me and for PTBE. We will miss their concern, insight, compassion, which enveloped our entire community. But we will continue to draw strength as their memories live forever in the goodness and light they brought to our lives. I give thanks to God for the precious gift of great leaders, of the great men and women who, like Bob Serban and Dr. Bill Schwartz, led PTBE in life and inspire us with their memory. For all who have led this community and are no longer with us, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them.
Try that holy humming. There's many names for God. 72 we know of. They just represent a glimmer of the energy of the infinite that we can reach out for. So we say, I want Hashem to walk with me. You can try that. I want Hashem to walk with me. I want Hashem to walk with me. When I'm down on my knees, I want Hashem to walk with me. Yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai, yai-da-dai-dai, yai-da-dai.
Our hearts are filled with tender memories of our teachers during these Yizkor moments. My first week of rabbinical school, the institution's synagogue director had us outside talking to trees, or more accurately, listening deeply for their wisdom. Rabbi Richard Levy communicated his reverence for Judaism with a glee that could not be contained to a building. He delighted in any gathering that could bring the religion to life, from chanting Torah among plants to crafting poetry from psalms. He believed in sweetening after-school Talmud study with Diet Coke and donuts, brain food for a fatigued scholar. With the gait of a wispy-haired wizard, he had a warm face that said, "I'm so glad you're here. Yes, you, exactly you, as you are." It was the face I needed my first semester when I sat in his office, tear-streaked, convinced I was in the wrong calling. As I sat listing my inadequacies, he only waited patiently before melting my defenses with a simple nod. "You belong here, Laura. Let's talk about why." Rabbi Levy lifted me not only with his kindness and brilliant scholarship, but with his challenging high standards for what a rabbi was meant to be. A beacon of integrity, a human shofar calling out injustice, a fearless prayer, a devout learner who could wrestle with the hardest of experiences and not lose faith. His influence spanned generations, from peers who marched alongside him in the civil rights era, to faculty members who came through the rabbinical college, to students who only knew him in his last years of life. He taught me and countless others how to love ourselves, how to love God, how to love justice, how to love life, and how to love each other. For the teachers who have guided our steps, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them.
Many hearts are filled with tender memories of a beloved spouse, a beloved partner during these Yizkor moments. Darling, dearest, precious, cherished, much loved or adored are just a few words that are synonymous with the word beloved. But in our tradition, beloved means only one thing. We read in Shir HaShirim, Song of Songs, the words, "I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine." These enchanted words adorn our ketubot, our wedding rings, and are often recited as part of Kiddushin, a Jewish wedding ceremony. The essence of this, the greatest love poetry ever written, is the depth of how intertwined we are with our Besheret, the one we were meant to be with, our beloved. The relationship between spouses and life partners is a relationship unlike any other. These are relationships based on shared experiences and connectedness derived from shared values and an intimacy like no other. These relationships are like that of the great sequoias. Alone, these majestic trees are not as strong as they can be until their roots become intertwined with one another. The great sequoias, with their roots intertwined, hold each other up, professing to the world that together we can stand anything. I find this metaphor to ring particularly true and is most profound when acknowledging and comforting a person suffering the loss of their Besheret, their beloved. True, there is separation and pain, sorrow and grief. There is loneliness as one feels the loss of their Besheret deeply and the hurt of a beloved one's absence keenly. It is learning to live without that familiar face and smile, that unique and needed love and understanding. But we also learn it is not an end to love, because our need for love is deep, limitless, and does not diminish when a loved one dies. It is not an end to joy and laughter. Nothing would less honor the gentle souls whom we now remember than protracted sadness and rivers of tears. Though the affliction is genuine, we must not allow it to hinder sweet memories, warm recollections that bring healing and relief and solace. Death cannot deprive us of happy memories, an enduring friendship, or the eternal qualities of a beloved. We must remember that death cannot erase a life and the love that ennobled it. As spouses and life partners, beloved did so often in life, so now even in death their memories will return to us again and again to heal the hurt of separation and to relieve the pain that death has wrought. We give thanks to God for the precious gift of a spouse, a life partner, a beloved who intertwined their roots with another in life, and now they continue to provide strength and support through their memory. For all of the spouses, partners, and beloveds who are no longer with us, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them.
There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we've loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest nights, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember. יש כוכבים שאורם מגיע ארצה, רק כאשר הם עצמם עבדו בעיניו. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם עוד בתוכנו. אורות אליך המבהיקים, וחשכת הליל, הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך.
Our hearts are filled with memories for those who inspired us during these Yizkor moments. Sometimes it's those who we never met to whom we feel closest, those whose poetry, melodies, and art impacted our lives by speaking directly to our souls. The Ramones once sang, Do you remember lying in bed with your covers pulled up over your head, radio playing so no one can see? We need a change, we need it fast, before rock's just part of the past, 'cause lately it all sounds the same to me. Each year, we collectively mourn the musical icons that defined our teenage years and the rest of our lives. Bowie, Prince, Lennon, Winehouse, Petty, B.I.G., Franklin, Cobain. Why does the death of a rock star hurt us so profoundly? We spend hours with their songs on repeat, searching for messages given to us through sound waves. Music is what speaks to us when we feel lonely, when we feel like we're the only ones. Or when we gather together with hands raised in the air, sweat dripping from dancing, throat sore from screaming lyrics known by heart. Music defines our collective prayer. Music defines our private moments. To all the lonely seeking inspiration, listening out for a voice that spoke to your soul, we'll miss you, rock and rollers. For those artists who inspired us, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them.
Our hearts are filled with tender memories of those who have worked side by side with us during these Yizkor moments. So many of us have been blessed with colleagues who have guided us through our professional lives. The partner who brought a young attorney into the firm and showed them how to navigate their new world. A principal or master teacher that allowed a young educator to shadow them as they demonstrated the power of the classroom. A CEO who took the time and recognized a young person's creativity and drive to succeed. The senior rabbi who taught, inspired, pushed, critiqued, loved, and laughed as a young newly ordained rabbi traversed their role in congregational life. It is this last example that is deepest in my heart as I remember Rabbi Harvey J. Fields. Whether you know it or not, many of you have been touched by Rabbi Fields' writings and teachings for decades. Rabbi Fields' Torah commentary, liturgical writings, and poetry are deeply entrenched in our Reform movement. And the countless numbers of rabbis who came under his guidance while they were students and as they left the Hebrew Union College to join him on the pulpit at Anshe Emet in New Jersey, Holy Blossom in Toronto, and Wilshire Boulevard Temple in Los Angeles are forever better rabbis for having had his tutelage. I feel so blessed to have had the opportunity to get to not only work with Rabbi Fields, but even more so to have been able to call him a friend. I still can picture his smile when he would enter the office in the morning, his impeccable wardrobe, especially his perfect knot on his tie. I remember him pushing me to tackle difficult situations with confidence and compassion. I remember Rabbi Fields' interest in what I was reading and what I was writing. I can't imagine doing what I do without his mentorship and without his collegiality. I give thanks to God for the precious gift of colleagues and mentors who guided the future through their work in life and how they continue to inspire us through memory. For all of our colleagues and mentors who are no longer with us, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them.
Page 583. בידו הפקיד רוחי ואין תשאל ואעירה ואם רוחי
Creator of all, together with you, we mourn too many innocent lives lost. Students, parents, neighbors, friends, our own Jewish people, those whose lives were cut off this year and in years past by acts of witless aggression and calculated anti-Semitism. You teach us that one is everything, one is a life, one is enough to cry out to heaven. When we count the scope of terror and anti-Semitism, the range of death, remember too the injured and the wounded, the witnesses and the bystanders, the first responders and the families. One is 100 witnesses, one is 1,000 mourners. One is 10,000 traumas. One is a member of Tree of Life Synagogue. One is a doctor seeking holy rest. Two are brothers arriving at services early to get a good seat. One is a 97-year-old temple matriarch who never missed a Torah study. One soul, one heartbeat, one more too soon. Eitz Chaim, Redeemer of Israel, enliven this moment with healing. Enliven this moment with hope. Forget not the Jews of Pittsburgh. Let your love flow. Let us know a time of true justice and freedom from acts of hatred. For those victims of the Tree of Life synagogue shooting, and for all those who lost their lives to senseless violence, Yizkor Elohim, we remember them. The song we sing now, written by Nefesh Mountain, was inspired by the Pittsburgh tragedy and has become a resounding call to healing in our community as well.
Oh, sweet Spirit, hear my prayer. Help these words heal someone out there. I am but a voice, just a cry in the air, but I sing nonetheless in this pain we share. Oh, sweet friends, come and dry your eyes, hold each other by this tree of life. Angry and tired, this great divide, but I sing nonetheless with love on our side. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we'll heal together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing nonetheless, still whole and still proud. Oh, sweet souls who feel broken now, we're here together somewhere, somehow. Time and again we have been let down, but we sing now. help these words heal someone out there.